Hi, it's Izzy Saylor. I read the book 1984 by George Orwell. My first quote I have is everywhere there is the same pyramidal structure, the same worship of a semi-divine leader, the same economy existing by and for continuous warfare. This quote kind of scared me and struck home to me because in current society, I personally have realized that a lot of religions kind of have the same building structure. And this is kind of scary because I know a lot of wars have been started out of religious conflicts, and just with the kind of weapons we have right now, any war could be too extreme, and who knows how far it could get. So, the second quote I chose was Big Brother is watching you, and I think this is really prevalent in today's society because we just have so much use of technology, and the government has ways of being able to. This sounds sort of super like me being superstitious, but there's definitely times where the government is kind of watching. Just examples would be the NSA. We don't even know how much they can monitor what we're doing, which I guess could be sort of frightening for the next generations because I personally don't believe it's ever good to have too much government interference in everyday life. I know there's always going to be the government will always be around and working in society, but I don't think it's necessary for the government to be monitoring what we're doing all the time. I think that's sort of stepping over the lines, and that's what would fear me for the next generations. The third quote that sort of struck home was ignorance is strength. I believe this is probably the scariest concept in Orwell's 1984. Um, it just makes me wonder what the government keeps from its citizens. Not even specifically the United States, but also we've seen continuously in North Korea just some crazy stories about the government keeping information away. Um, and I never think that's really a good idea. I think all information should be public. Um, and this could definitely affect the next generation because if they're keeping things out of the news and away from its citizens, such as environmental issues, some serious damage could be done to the environment, and which can really make a huge impact on the our next generation. I don't think it's we should always just be thinking about ourselves. It's definitely that next generation we need to be thinking about. And an example of this would be deforestation, and it's just the number, um, just the number one um, reason we always think of for deforestation is fossil fuels and terrible chemicals, but it's actually stock animals, and you'd never think of that. But it's something that the government's actually been able to conceal from us, and so no one ever really has an idea that stock animals is actually the biggest cause for um, deforestation, which can also impact enormously the future generation. In some of Orwell's predictions, I believe, maybe it's, I feel like it's cut down the middle, really, if you want me to be honest. Some of them are true, for sure, but then on the other side, you could debate that um, we, do, we don't have the extremes that the citizens have in 1984. To some extent we do, like such as the NSA. Um, but another thing I'd say to contradict that as well, you could say that religions If George Orwell was still around today, yeah, I can sort of imagine him saying, "I told you so." Um, that we've just kind of created these problems with the abundance and the overabundance of technology and the use of it. So I could just imagine him sort of laughing at us and saying, "You're just sort of falling into a trap right now." And that's what I believe he'd say, for sure. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.